Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It is September the 13th, and we're looking today at Proverbs chapter 19 and 20. Now, I don't know about you, but as we follow the chapters one by one, we are amazed at the huge breadth and depth of the wisdom that is recorded. Have you ever had the feeling that you're reading something that is just momentous, but you just do not have enough time to take it all in? Well, that's what we have in the book of the Proverbs. In chapter 19, Solomon speaks of personal character, and in particular, he speaks of humility. Again, it's a catalogue of couplets. This was not meant to be read as a book. It's not a storybook. It is an encyclopedia of knowledge for the king's sons. It's something to be picked at and discussed at long length. This is the very best of the best of wisdom that Solomon had and the rest of the children of Israel had. And wisdom is the very thing that enables a person to live righteously before the Lord their God in the old covenant. So let's look at this first chapter. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. So what is he saying? Well, perverse in his lips, it means somebody who gives the impression by his words that he's living a holy and a righteous life, but actually he isn't wise and he is a fool. But the poor man that walks in his integrity, who always is the same. Integrity means to be consistent, to be always the same. The poor man that walks righteously consistently is a better man than he that talks but is inconsistent. Wow, there's some great stuff in here. And you know, in life, I mean, for Israel in the old covenant, this was crucial stuff. But for us too, there's stuff in here that is the wisdom of all ages, even though it was in the old covenant. Now notice he says, a false witness shall not go unpunished. He that speaketh lies shall not escape. Right, a false witness, you see, when there's a court and when somebody gets up and makes a false testimony, that person needs to be dealt with very strongly, very severely. It is perjury. Later on it says, he that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. I'm just going to be reading some of these with you, and I'll show you what is my password for today. He says again, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. They shall be put to death. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, and his favour is as dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Those that don't bother to get up and work hard, they will starve. That's what he's saying. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul. He that despiseth his ways, that is the Lord's ways, shall die. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he giveth will he pay him again. You see, you can't. My father used to say, the Lord is no man's debtor. He that lendeth to the poor is lending to the Lord, and it will be repaid by the Lord. Chasten thy son while there is hope. Let not thy soul spare for his crying. See, hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end. There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless the counsel of the Lord shall stand. Wow. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, but he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware. Reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. He that wasteth his father and chaseth away his mother is a son that brings shame and bringeth reproach. Cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err from the words of knowledge. Now that's my password for today. There's 2 or 3 I'd like to bring to your attention, but there's an important one. It says, cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err from the words of knowledge. You know, we're not to spend our time in those days and in today, we're not to spend our time listening to the teaching of those that would teach us to forsake the Lord or to sin against the Lord. That's a very, very crucial password, isn't it? It's absolutely essential that we do not continue to allow ourselves to be taught to sin. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the backs of fools. Now, the over-abiding impression is the amazing depth of insight and the feeling that this applies primarily to a world that's long gone. This was a world of the flesh. It was a world of corporal punishment. It's a world of capital punishment. It's a world where children were beaten. Okay, we're not living in a world like that anymore. However, there is so many lessons that still, for today, have a resonance. Now, chapter 20 is a series of proverbs with the overall subject of personal conduct under the law. So it begins, wine is a mocker, and strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. That's amazing, isn't it? You see, wine is a mocker. Who does it mock? It mocks the one that drinks it. Okay. It is an honour for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. Right. The sluggard will not plough by reason of the cold, therefore he shall beg in harvest and have nothing. Now this is an eternal truth. You know, those that can't be bothered to get out of bed because it's a cold morning to go and plough the fields, when harvest time comes, he'll be the one begging. Okay? People used to say, I heard this many years ago, that he who doesn't plough in the spring starves at harvest. Wow, same thing, isn't it? And note, go on down, the just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him. Divers weights and divers measures, both of them are alike an abomination to the Lord. You see, the Lord doesn't like people who deal unjustly. He doesn't like you to have in your bag different weights. A weight that's £1 and another weight that says it's £1 but it isn't. The Lord doesn't like that. He doesn't like different measures either. He doesn't like you to have a rule that will undercut your customers. You know, it's very important that we deal righteously. He goes on down, it says, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. See that? Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterward his mouth shall be filled with gravel. What an amazing thought. You see, every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. And here's our password. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord, he shall save thee. See, don't ever think, oh, I get my own back. No, leave it. And then write on down, and this is another password for today. Perhaps it's applicable to me, I'm not sure. It says, the glory of young men is their strength, but the beauty of old men is the grey head. I think I've got a few grey hairs on my head. So there we are. We're talking about the Mosaic law. It's a law of corporal punishment. It was a law that acted on the body, okay? And its punishments were on the outer man. That's the point of all these proverbs. Well, there we are. That's been interesting to share with you my password for today. I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye for now.